Imagine standing with no escape, a vast sea stretching out before you, and behind you, an unstoppable army closing in. Fear grips every heart. Panic spreads through the crowd. This was the moment everything could be lost for Moses and his people. But to truly understand how they arrived at this point, we must go back to the very beginning of his story. It was a dark and dangerous time for the Israelites. They lived as slaves in Egypt, oppressed and burdened under Pharaoh's rule. Fearing their growing numbers, Pharaoh made a ruthless decision. Every Hebrew baby boy was to be killed. But one mother refused to surrender her child to this fate. Her name was Jochebed. With courage and desperation, she placed her baby into a carefully woven basket and set him gently upon the waters of the Nile. She could do nothing more, only trust that somehow he might be saved. The basket drifted among the reeds. Then, something unexpected happened. Pharaoh's daughter came to the river. She noticed the basket, drawn by curiosity. When she opened it and saw the child inside, her heart softened instantly. This child must not die, she thought. She chose to raise him as her own. You will be called Moses, she said. And so, a Hebrew child was brought up in the palace of Egypt, raised as a prince, yet born into slavery. Years passed. Moses grew into a man, but deep within him, questions stirred. Who was he really? Where did he belong? One day he saw something that changed everything. An Egyptian was beating a Hebrew slave. Moses could not stand by and watch. Anger took hold of him. In that moment he struck the Egyptian and killed him. But his actions did not go unnoticed. Fear swept over him. If Pharaoh found out, his life would be over. So Moses fled. He left Egypt behind and escaped into the wilderness, arriving in a distant land called Midian. There, his life changed once again. At a well, he came across a group of women being driven away by shepherds. Moses stepped in and defended them, ensuring they could draw water in peace. This simple act of kindness led him to a new beginning. One of the women, Zipporah, would soon become his wife. She was the daughter of a Midianite priest, and together they built a quiet life. Years went by. Moses became a shepherd, far removed from the life he once knew. But his story was far from over. One day, while tending his flock near Mount Sinai, Moses saw something extraordinary. A bush was on fire, yet it was not burning up. Curious, he moved closer. Then a voice called out, "Moses, Moses." He stopped. "I am here," he replied. "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you stand is holy ground." It was the voice of God. "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt," God said, "and I have heard their cries. I am sending you to Pharaoh. You will bring my people out of Egypt." Moses was overwhelmed. "Who am I to do this?" he asked. "I am not strong. I do not speak well." But God answered him, "I will be with you." And when Moses questioned further, asking who he should say had sent him, God replied with powerful words, "I am who I am." Moses was not alone. With God's promise, he returned to Egypt, and his brother Aaron went with him. Together, they stood before Pharaoh. "Let our people go," Moses said, "so they may worship the Lord." But Pharaoh's heart was stubborn. "Who is this God?" he replied. "I will not let them go." And so, a battle of power began. God sent signs and then judgments upon Egypt. The Nile turned to blood, destroying their water and killing the fish. Frogs covered the land, filling homes and palaces. Gnats swarmed across people and animals, bringing irritation and chaos. Flies followed, filling the air and spreading misery. Then came disease among the livestock, wiping out animals across Egypt. Later, painful boils appeared on people's skin. Hailstorms then struck the land, crushing crops and buildings. After that, locusts devoured what remained, leaving nothing behind. Darkness covered Egypt for 3 days, a heavy, unrelenting darkness. Yet Pharaoh still refused. Then came the final plague. The firstborn of Egypt would die. But God gave the Israelites a way to be spared. They marked their doorposts with the blood of a lamb. That night, death passed through Egypt, but it passed over the homes of those who obeyed. Pharaoh could resist no longer. Broken and defeated, he gave the order, "Go, leave this land." The Israelites moved quickly. They gathered their belongings and left Egypt behind, carrying with them the bones of Joseph, just as had been promised generations before. At last, they were free. But freedom had not yet been secured. Soon after they left, Pharaoh's heart hardened once more. His pride would not allow it. He sent his army after them. Chariots thundered across the desert. Soldiers advanced without mercy. The Israelites found themselves trapped. The Red Sea stretched out before them. Pharaoh's army was closing in behind. Fear spread like wildfire. "Why did you bring us here?" they cried out to Moses. "Was it to die in the wilderness?" But Moses stood firm. "Do not be afraid," he said. "Stand still, and you will see the deliverance of the Lord." Then he raised his staff, and God moved. A powerful wind swept across the sea. The waters began to part. A path opened through the Red Sea, with walls of water standing on either side. The Israelites stepped forward. They walked through on dry ground, their hearts pounding with awe and fear. Behind them, the Egyptian army followed. But once every Israelite had crossed, the waters returned. The sea collapsed, crashing down upon the chariots and soldiers. The army was gone. In that moment, there was no doubt. God had delivered them. They were truly free. And then, from among the people, a voice rose in celebration. It was Miriam, the sister of Moses. With tambourine in hand, she led the women in song and dance. "I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. Horse and rider he has thrown into the sea." Joy filled the air. Freedom had come. But the journey was not over. Ahead of them lay the wilderness and the promise of a new land. Moses would lead them forward through trials, doubts, and miracles still to come. His story was not just one of escape. It was a story of faith in the face of fear, of courage when hope seemed lost, and a reminder that even in the most impossible moments, deliverance can come.